everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you just joined us now, welcome. So for today's video, I'm doing a chatty get ready with me. Am I detrans? Am I trying to go back to a boy, or am I staying as my true self, or am I going back? And why have I started testosterone? Is it because I'm going back? Find out. I've done my skincare. My mum called me as I was putting that on. I've accidentally put it on my whole skin, which is not what I wanted. I would usually just put it on the beard area because this stuff, Mehorn. But I'm not going to name all the products I'm using. Well, the Radiance Boost by Kiko, that's my primer. So I'm just going in with that on bits that are not a beard area. This makes me glowy. And by the way, I've put sunscreen on. I've started wearing UV Stat SPF 50 every day, unless I'm going out after like 5 PM. There's no point because the sun's really not that strong at that time. So even in the winter you need to put sun cream on. So this stuff is amazing, by the way. My mum was ringing me and asking me if I'd go and stay at hers, so I said yeah, even though I might not, because we just argue and it's like, well, that's another story anyway. However, I'm just putting this on areas. Alexa, 1 minute timer.
1 minute, starting now.
We can get into the chat about my gel. So I've started testosterone gel, a micro-sized amount on my thigh every second day. And before we go any further, I am not detransitioning. I am not. I am just, when you have the lower surgery, so the vaginoplasty, a lot of the time our testicles hold the testosterone, and then it goes into the adrenal glands and then it distributes everywhere. So about 1.5 years after having my operation, well, 2 and a bit years actually, I started feeling really crappy. I started feeling tired. This was in 2020. Started feeling really tired, drained. Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. Having sinus problems, feeling really down, just feeling really crappy, feeling like I was almost asexual and really questioning my sexuality because there was no drive, no nothing. So for years I was just accepting this is how I am every spring and summer, face swollen, head pounding, like really bad, where Cocodamol wouldn't even get rid of it with ibuprofen mixed. Last year started getting white, going like this around my eye. So I spoke to my sister, I broke down in tears and said, I'm fed up with this. I've been back and forth to the doctor. They did brain scans, they did migraine clinics, they did a lot. They said it's probably just because I've had migraines all my bloody life. So then what happened was I decided I'm going to do some research. And my sister was on the message me and actually said, you know what, this doesn't sound as bad as what I've had, but no, it doesn't sound, what I had doesn't sound as bad as you, but it could be hormone related. And I thought, but how can sinuses be hormone related? Do you know what I mean? Maybe the tiredness and the low libido, but I was like, So I'd already been in talks with the gender clinic about getting testosterone for a low libido because it was driving me a bit up the wall, because whenever I have a partner, I wasn't able, it wasn't that I'd totally gone off it. It was just more like if I did it with somebody, I just wouldn't feel it. It wouldn't feel the same, and it wouldn't feel nice. It would feel nice-ish, but I could take it or leave it, and half the time I'd just be sat there waiting for them to do their thing so that I could go, yeah, we're finished now, let's move on to something else. And I thought it was just because I'd become a woman now and I was new to that area and all that jazz, and I maybe thought it was just because I had, you know, like, because I've got ADHD. I think now being a woman, well, I've always been a woman, but now being physically a woman, this has to connect with all of this. Whereas before it was just like, something turned me on, whack it out, do your thing and it'd be done. So I thought it was that, and I just needed to learn all that. But it didn't matter whatever I was doing, there would be things that would make me feel good, but they would never make me feel good enough to make me want to like think, oh, this is amazing, let's go and do it again. I would just get frustrated after a while and go, fuck this, and just give up, right? So I'm like, what the fuck's going on with my body, right? So I did my own research, and I thought, I looked it up, and apparently it's very common. So what happens is the testicles hold the testosterone, it disperses into the adrenal glands, and then the adrenal glands push all the testosterone into your body. But it's like the adrenal glands is just a place where it stores, it goes to, so there's not too much going in your body at once. But once you've had the operation, there can be enough in the adrenal glands to keep you going for so long. And actually, because the testicles aren't doing enough, some trans women actually need to go on blockers, because the adrenal glands are like, whoa, we don't have anything coming now, let's get rid of it. Because there'll be a big rush in a minute, that's what they think, right? But with a lot of us, we find that the adrenal glands distribute it evenly, and then all of a sudden we have nothing left and we start feeling shitty. The first sign usually is no libido, and that was what happened. Like about a year after my op, I just had no libido. Like even like when you do transition, you do find that your libido goes down, which for me wasn't really, it was something that bothered me, but it wasn't the main issue. The main issue was more like how I felt in myself and how I felt like physically. I just felt tired and drained all the time, and I couldn't lose weight around my belly. I just felt weak every time I exercised. Any longer than brisk walking, I'd have thump, thump, thump 2 hours later for a day, and it would be really horrendous headache. It was one of those ones where it would just be so bad. The heat would get to me. I felt like I couldn't sweat properly. I just felt like I felt really warm on the inside, but I felt like I had no way of cooling down, and I would just feel hot all the time. Now, all these symptoms are not all stereotypical of low testosterone, but they were for me because my body works weird. So anyhow, so I started it about 3 weeks ago, and it was not the most pleasant thing to start, because the first couple of days I had really, really bad, like buzzy vision. I can't describe it, and I couldn't sleep at all, and I felt really weird, and my tummy was dodgy. And I felt really shaky. But then about a week and a half to 2 weeks later, it started to calm down. So I'm feeling a lot better. It's helped with my brain fog. It's helped with my libido's still not come back, but I don't really mind so much. It'd be nice if it did, but I have noticed that I feel less tired. My skin was really dry as well, and it's really like glowy and not dry now. And when I put skincare on, it actually works now. I found that I've got more energy. I found that this is a weird thing that I found, right? So when my testosterone levels were they're probably not where they should be now, but they are a bit better. They're probably rising, right? So my testosterone levels, when they were really, really low, and the NHS think that they were running on zero, so they didn't, so they didn't even bother testing them, right? So I think what happened was I used to crave sugar like it was going out of fashion. Like literally, I craved sugar and salt and just fatty snacks, fatty foods. And I know when I was in my 20s, I did eat a lot of crap, and I noticed that. But now I've been doing quite well, eating healthy and doing really well. But it was last thing at night, I would just crave fatty snacks. And I found that now I don't crave them as much. And I actually I don't eat any more than I used to, but I find that when I do eat, instead of leaving half my dinner and eating fatty, shitty snacks, my body's wanting to eat more health. And it actually gets more satisfied by eating health, which is really, really good for me. So that's helped me, one thing. Another thing I've noticed, there is one thing that I've noticed, my sleep is fucked. Like literally, I cannot sleep till quite late, and then I'm getting up really late. I've had that problem before, but not to this scale. But last night was the first night I did get to sleep before 2, and I got to sleep at about 1:30. So anyway, what was I going to say again? Yeah. So, and another thing, I have noticed it's a bit of a negative is I feel like my ADHD pills now don't work as well. So the lady from the gender clinic phoned me like last week to remind me of my appointment. I said, I don't feel my ADHD pills are working as well. And she said, sometimes when you first start testosterone, it can affect, like, it doesn't affect like your tablet directly, but it can affect how you feel, and that can make your ADHD pill feel like it's not working because you've got more energy, and then it stabilizes. So she says it might be that I'll just wait another couple of weeks, and if it's like that, I'll go back to the walk-in place. There's a walk-in thing that you go to on a Thursday for anyone that's previously had ADHD pills. I'm just putting my unlimited Kiko on. I love this stuff. So, the problem with that is so I do feel overall a lot better. And when I'm getting headaches now because of my sinuses, that they're still bad, but they're responding a lot better to weaker treatments like ibuprofen, paracetamol, and they're responding a little bit different. And a lot of the time I can sleep them off as well. And when I'm waking up, I feel more choked with my sinuses, but the head's not as bad, which the head was the thing that was annoying me. And I've noticed that I just all round feel a bit better, but I haven't tried exercising fast and brisk walking yet, because I don't want to give that. I did, and I do feel a little bit more like I get moments where I'm a bit more down there wanting to do the odd one thing or two, but it's not enough to make me want to go away. I want to jump in bed with someone, but there is things happening slightly. My skin's a lot more glowy, and my wrinkles around my eyes have started going away because they're like really, because it's dry skin that was causing that. But they have put me on a small tiny dose to try and stop the manliness, so stop me going manly. It won't make me manly, it's just to put in the female range. So sorry, I just went and wetted my beauty blender, and I mix this in with some of the Radiance Boost. It helps to give me a dewy skin. So anyway, what I was trying to say was that I feel like a lot more myself. I feel like I've got a lot more, I feel less like before I would be on social media, like getting really, like just on it all day, sleeping all day, and it didn't matter how long I slept. I always felt as though like I hadn't slept, and it was very annoying. I don't usually, this is the bit that usually used to get dry, so I just put it on differently. I would always sleep and then feel like I hadn't slept and I was tired all day. And then when I took my pill about an hour later, it'd feel almost like I hadn't slept. And I'd be quite hyper. I would be quite hyper when it wore off. But now I take my ADHD pill and I can tell I've taken it, but it doesn't feel like it works as well. So it might be I need to up my dose. However, I'm so this foundation is amazing, but there's not much of mine left. And what have they done? Discontinued my shade, and the shade below it is too light, and the shade above it is far too dark. And it's not just a little bit light, it's far too light. So Kiko, why did you discontinue my amazing shade? Because this foundation is amazing. It's transfer proof. It's very light, buildable. It says it's a matte finish. I feel like it's got more dewiness and more like youthful looking skin than the Kiko 2-in-1 full coverage. I used to love that foundation, but I just find it transfers on my clothes. I love this foundation, it's so good. And because I've mixed it with the Radiant Boost, it gives me like really glowy, dewy skin. But I haven't had really major negative side effects. The first week, after the first week I had spots along here, and I had a spot here, and the clinic phoned me anyway, and I said, look, I've got that, and she said, look, that sounds like it's masculinizing you already. It won't be permanent, so lower the dose. And I did, and it went away. So she said that's fine. And if they come back, if I get any along the jawline, any up here, even if it's those tiny little bumpy ones, I have got the tiny bumpy things, and I did tell her, but she said as long as they're not huge and you can't see them, unless you go close up. That's probably just a sign that your body's adjusting, so it's nothing to worry about. But she did say that it's quite common. So a lot of trans girls don't take it because they're not ill. They don't get ill from it. They don't feel any ill effects, and they don't want it. And I can understand why, but I would suggest to any trans girls that are feeling shit after the op, because I thought it was just me. I thought I was mentally unwell. I thought, is it because I maybe regret the whole thing and blah, blah. And there was times where I would go, I actually regret this because I was feeling so unwell. But it wasn't because I regretted what was down there. I regretted it that I couldn't feel as alive as I did before mentally because I was feeling shit because of the low testosterone. And that's one thing that I found really difficult. So I'm just going to put, when I go to the corners of my nose, I like to go like that. I just find a beauty blender gives me a better finish. I know a lot of people say, well, beauty blenders take away a bit of the product. But for me, I think it gives me a nicer finish. And now, so that's made me feel so much better. I've got so much more positivity in me, and I don't have the tiredness as much and the compulsion to and the headaches have really improved. Now, I don't know if the headaches have improved because maybe it's the summer's summer's here, but it's not been that warm, or the autumn, or it's just me, but I don't know. I'm going to see in weight, but I have had sinus type headaches, and there was one I had that was really bad last weekend, but it went away with just ibuprofen and a sleep, which it usually wouldn't do. So I just put powder on to set this, just to set the beard area. And any bits that would usually go dry, like my nose. I like to do my nose because that's where my glasses sit. So I don't put concealer on unless I'm using the full Covers 2-in-1, which has got concealer in. And then I just like to lightly dust this. So yes, I'm feeling so much better. I'm just a lot happier in life. I want to go out and get my passport sorted so that I can go abroad. I want to go to Belfast as well because I've got a pal that lives in Belfast. So I would usually wait a minute for it to settle in, but it's been a minute since we've been chatting anyway. So I'm going to use a Sculpting Touch by Kiko. So I got ChatGPT and Dola, which is similar to ChatGPT, to do a little routine for my face shape. And one controversial thing, I think that Dola is better than ChatGPT. So I'm just going to get my brush. I like to make sure the nose is well done, so sometimes I just go in with my finger there. I know you shouldn't rub it, but if I don't rub it, it doesn't like blend in as well, and then I have big brown streaks I don't want. And I did forget to lift my hairline up. Excuse the mess of the hairpiece, it needs redoing because I'm due a new hairpiece, because what have I done? Scratched it. So I have to brush it back and it's annoying. But I've had a new piece ordered. So yeah, that's all good. So then I go in with my blush. This is a new product I've been using, the Smart Blush by Kiko. And it's supposed to be like, it is a coloured blush, but it's also supposed to be more adaptive to your skin. So when you put it on, it more picks a colour that's more matching to your skin, but it's still got pigment in it, so it's not the most pigmented blush, but I find that a lot of blushes are too striking on me and then I mess them up, so I tend not to. I always put my highlighter on last when it comes to my face. My eyebrows, I do a little mascara thing afterwards, and my lips. But when it comes to the base, So this is just what I do. I don't do any eye stuff because I don't know if the allergies were to do with testosterone levels, and because it can really affect your histamines. So I've just realised it hasn't been recording for a while. But this is the final look anyway. But you catch the gist of it. I'm going to spray some of this on. The Cryolon fixing spray. This stuff's amazing. But you have to make sure your makeup's the way you want it. And don't touch your face. Don't move your face for 3 minutes after putting that on. So I did the full 3 minutes off camera because that would be boring to sit and watch me do that. I'm going to get my hairbrush. Now, I'm going to put some heat protector on. Where's my hairbrush? I had it earlier. I'm going to pause the video while I find my hairbrush. I found my hairbrush. So I'm going to put some heat protector on because I'm going to probably straighten my fringe. I'm just going to move you here. That's better. If you can see a strap there, it's my bag. One of my going out bags. Look how bad it is, look. So it needs doing again, but she's got a new hairpiece for me. So what I've been doing is to cover it, I've just been brushing it over from this side and then tying it up. So you can't really see the bald patch now, and then wearing my headphones just to give it a bit of I sometimes put hair oil on now, or I do it later so I've got a hair oil the piece. But I think what's happened is because when we last went to get my hair done, I asked her if she could put it higher up, the extensions, so that they would stay in a bit longer, and they have stayed in longer without drooping. But the problem with it is that it's made it more itchy, and because it's made it more itchy, it's made me scratch it like hell, and it's scratched the hair off. Because if you imagine your own hair, if you scratch that, it's attached to your head, so you're not scratching it off, but you can actually scratch it off the mesh. So it's very annoying. But hey ho, I've got a new one, so just got to wait till she's back and it's come for her to order to give me it. Right, I'm going to do my hair again. It's very annoying because it's this long straggly bit, because my own hair underneath has started growing longer than the actual piece now. So that's very annoying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie it up. And I will be glad when I can wear it down again as well. I just use a satin scrunchie. Because look, my own hair underneath as well. So I have been wearing it a bit like that. Just to give it a bit. What I might do is I might get the normal hair straighteners today and curl the fringe over, but I'm going to put heat protector on the fringe only. Look how good my makeup looks. I love it today. These are stuck. So I'm just going to look round the charity shops today. It's about 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm going out to look round the charities. These take ages to, because I can't use the Dyson on this because it'll straighten it, but it won't curl it under, which is annoying. So I try not to use these as often because they've got more heat damage in them. But right, I'm going to have to get this again. That's better. I try not to do it too tight. Right, that's it, nearly done. That's it at 180, because I don't do it too high a temperature. It's just a long bit here, which is really annoying. I'm just going to tie that up again, that long bit. So I'm planning to go on holiday this year with my sister somewhere abroad, somewhere cheap with EasyJet. Just for because it was her 50th in March. It's my 40th in August. Ugh, don't want to be 40. So I'm just gonna So I'm saving a lot of money because I have got rid of, my contract ended, and I was a good gal this time and didn't go for a new phone. Just kept the phone and got a SIM only. So that has saved me quite a bit of money. Because I don't need that bit curled under, it's just the fringe. That's it. So yeah, my hair is not in the best state because I got a hairpiece with extensions. You may not have noticed because last time I don't think I did a video about it, so it needs brushed again. So I'm just going to brush it out again. Brush it over. Right deal. That's better. I know it looks a bit weird, but it's better than showing the bald spot for now, and just brushing it forward. I would love to cut my own fringe, but I'm worried I would fuck it up, and it might fuck, well, if it fucked the hairpiece it wouldn't matter anyway because I'm getting a new one, but still. So this is it. That's the best it's going to look for today, I think. Just there's always one side of my hair naturally that's grown longer than the other. So I'm just going to switch these off. I had a little rubber mat thing to put them on. I'm going to put them on that to stop them burning the carpet. That'll do. Me and the hairdresser first thought it was because the hairpiece had my headphones on when I was sleeping, my AirPod Maxes. But now I don't think it's that because I've not been doing that or putting them on when I'm laid down or in bed, so, or on the bed. So we do, I think it's scratching because it gets more itchy now the beads are closer. So it might just be my sensitivities. It's not her fault. She's really good at what she does and she does an amazing job. And yeah, I'll show you when she does it again with the new piece and all that. I'm just going to wet this because there's makeup on my necklace. Well, there's now makeup on my top, which is very annoying. But hey ho, so I'm going to get my glasses, wherever they are. I did see them, I thought they were here. This is the best I'm going to get with it, so I just need to keep it like this for now. I'm going to put some Ariana Grande Pink Cloud perfume on. And I'm going to mix it with some of my Superdrug Fruity Candy Floss Body Mist. I love this stuff. I'm going to put my glasses on, my earrings on. I'm wearing my Halara dungarees. This top I got from the charity. This necklace I got off at Etsy that comes with earrings. This necklace that's got the cat's ashes in, my last cat's ashes. I'm putting an earring on. I'm putting my little stretched ear plug earrings on because these ones are good because they don't give the little gap. I did try the hard ones, what are they called? The titanium ones, but they weren't very good. Can't find my glasses, but I'm going to put my carnelian citron and sunstone bracelet on to give me positive energies. I did a full cleanse of them. So where are my glasses? Oh, here they are. I think they need a good clean at some point. And I want to show you all something else that I got, which is really cool from the TikTok shop. I've been buying some new coats and I got this really lovely coat. And what else I got are in here. So if you're a girl like me that hardly ever wears sunglasses but likes them for concerts because the lights are bright or summer, you don't want to spend a fortune on another pair of prescription sunglasses, even if you can get 2 for 1. I'd rather have 2 for 1 on glasses because they can be worn more. These fit over your own glasses. They were about £3, including delivery. And look at that. You wouldn't even know you've got glasses on underneath. They're so cool. So I'm going to wear them today because it's bright and sunny. I'm also going to clean my glasses. And yeah, so being trans is a funny thing because all the time I'm having to do something new to my body to help me feel better. But hey ho. Oh, and I did get this off the TikTok shop. A few other items I want to show you, wherever my bag is. So I got this. I'm going to start collecting Loungefly bags. I've wanted to collect them for ages. And apparently it glows in the dark and it's so cute. And it's nice because I like a shoulder bag. And I like bags that go over your shoulders like that because it causes less, it's not one-sided and then I don't get pain. What else? Where is the bag? There's another bag I got from the shop, from TikTok, that I wanted to show you all. Oh, There's one here I got from the TikTok shop. Looks like a jelly cat. I got that from Jelly Collections. And they do one-off pieces like that coat. I've got a green coat from them. I've got another pink coat. It's like a blazer. Anybody find May a bit weird this year? It's not been as warm. Where is my leopard print bag? I had a leopard print bag, unless it's behind the sofa. Yes, it is, because that's where my cleaning stuff and my glasses is. Now this bag, don't get me wrong, it can fit everything bar the kitchen sink in it, but it's just not the comfiest. Well, most bags that go one shoulder, and I think it's too much leopard print with this as well. So this is really cool. You can fit loads in, by the way. You can fit everything bar the kitchen sink, which is a bit of me, and it doesn't rip. Because usually when I buy bags, they rip, and this was only like a tenner. Well, it was about 14 including delivery. So I've got another pair of glasses. I've got Kylie Minogue's, but these ones I think give me headaches because they're rimless at the bottom. And I don't like the look of them as much. I just don't think they suit me as much as those, the clear ones, so I don't really wear these. Side view, they actually look really cute, but front on, I don't think they're the best shape for my face. I think these are better. These are more me, because they're not as harsh. And I have to say, Kylie Minogue glasses, I've tried a few in the shop, and they're usually quite small framed, but these were quite big. Like, I mean, not small in the frame, but size-wise, like, they're usually a bit petite. I'm just looking for some wipes for my glasses. So I've got some wipes. I like to use the spray and the wipes because I find if I don't use the spray and the wipes, I get smears when I look at the light. I get these weird lines that piss me off. So I'm going to have a drink of milk before I go out. I'm back. I've been drinking lactose-free milk and I quite like it. So yeah, because I was getting fed up with having almond with everything, and I'm trying to find ways to get more liquid in me. So I know my spray for my glasses is in here somewhere, or unless it's in that small bag, but I don't think it is. No, it's here. Yep. So I'm just going to spray my glasses. So I don't know where I'm going today. I'm going to look round the charities anyway. I think I'm going to go to the ones here. Right, where is that cloth? These are Marc Jacobs, and I really love them. I had them years ago, and then my ex bloody threw them out the window and broke them. Well, I couldn't find them, and they were somewhere outside, so I went and I got another pair when I next got my new glasses. Because I just love them. I think they're just so right for my face shape. And then I'm going to take, because I would go to Portobello Beach, but it'll probably be mobbed, and I can't be arsed in mobbness. And I was thinking cramming, but by the time I get there, it'll be afternoon, it'll be freezing. Because it's sunny, but not very warm. Oh, and as you can see, I've got a bed tent now in my bed. These wipes are not as good as the Poundland ones. But Poundland, sadly, no more where I live, because I don't think they were shutting down originally. It was to do with the rent cost or something of the building. It wasn't one of the ones that was supposed to be shutting and all that. Yeah, they're really smeared. I can't see at all. So I'm probably going to have to go and get kitchen paper. I don't really use kitchen paper very often, but I bought it anyway because it was good for. I just bought it because I got it for free with a voucher from Tesco to try out. Or it was only like 90p or something, when it's usually about £4, so. Yeah, that's really not good. They're really streaky. So I'm going to have to spray them again. See, why are a lot of wipes shite for glasses? So yeah, I would definitely recommend. They do different styles of those pull-over glasses, by the way. Those over the glasses. Because I have had a pair before and they just look like blind person glasses. No offence, but I don't need them and I don't want big chunky things on my face. Anyhow, I cannot get these clean for the life of me. They're very smeared, so it might have to be washing up liquid for now. I'm going to leave you and love you all. Thank you for watching and keep being fabulous. Bye.